Well, hello there. Oh yeah, see, there we go. Now it's live. Sorry about the quality on my cam. It is a 1080 cam. It's just not set for that right now. Sorry about that. Um, First time doing anything live on YouTube, so this is weird for me. But oh well. Here's the point of this. Uh, the way I see it, the state of Siege in 2021 and or year 6, season 2, um, and the coming seasons thereafter, like it's going to be a lot of a kind of a semi rant slash rambling. So sorry about that in advance, but got a couple points here on a good old trusty notepad. Um, yeah, no, I'm just gonna make this very fucking quick. The state of Rainbow Six Siege, or Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege in 2021, or AKA Year 6, Season 2, and soon to be Season 3, is fucking horrendous, especially in ranked. Um, yeah, no, I don't know how to put this other than Ubisoft either needs to do something to fix Siege on the mechanics side and on the anti-cheat side, and the player base needs to focus on getting them banned, getting all the cheaters banned, and I don't know, pulling their heads out of their ass, especially in EU. NA not so much necessarily. From what I've seen while playing on NA lately, it's not really been all that bad. It's been like Siege has been for the last couple of years. Toxic when dumb people are around and fun when they're not. Um, yeah, at least Siege in EU is fucking terrible. It is. Yeah, no, it's barely worth doing anything. And yeah, I don't see the future of Siege being that good from here on out. I think the writing's on the wall by now. I really don't want to say this at all because Siege has been a very fun game to play and has been a fuck ton of fun playing it with my friends. And I would like to see it continue going strong for a couple more years, but the last couple of seasons it's just been slowly going down, and then this season it's like the game jumped off a cliff that it can't climb its way back out of, or jumped off the cliff, or got itself a running start and jumped off the fucking cliff. Forgot to bring the cave diving equipment or the climbing gear to get back up out of there, out of the hole they just jumped themselves into, and decided to stick with it and run with it. Like it's just so dumb playing Siege right now. Like the only reason I'm making this video at all, or this little stream, is that I've played 2 unranked matches today in EU, and I am European. I'm not American living in Europe. I've been born and raised in Northern Europe, or Norway, aka Scandinavia. Um, like the first match, besides nobody talking, other than when they needed something from you, like they're not communicating the enemy team's position, they're not communicating what they want to do so we can do something as a team, even if they are English speaking, which the vast majority of people in EU aren't English speaking, but everybody knows English and everybody should be speaking English because not everybody knows French or German or Spanish or whatever the fuck, or Russian. But yeah, no. At least in EU, it's too many cheaters, too many cheat supporters, too many people not communicating, and instead of communicating, just being toxic and TKing you or whatever. Like that's what happened in my first match today. Like second round on bank, uh, I got done taking out some people from the angle I was covering in the beginning on the attack, and then I got it. Went inside to help my fucking teammates that were dying. Got into a position where I could safely drone and get some information. When I tossed out my drone, our sledge was also coming up behind me instead of holding the fucking angle he was holding in the beginning, which would have been a better choice than coming around to shoot me in the back of the head. But he came around. This is top square, so he went back outside through, or he was around stock. He went outside, came in square, told me to run in front of him. I said no, instantly shot me in the head, and told me to stop being bad and do what he says, so we could win. Of course, the enemy team was kind enough to refrag me. I found that to be very interesting and fun, and kind of a karma moment, honestly, because like, okay, you're calling me shit. You're playing worse than me. You're not communicating, and the only thing you do when you communicate is tell me to do something that I'm just not going to do without any information. And then when I say no, you take offense of it and shoot me in the head. Like, dude, at that point, you forfeit all your right to say anything, in my eyes. Like, you don't have the right to say or do jack shit at that point. Like, you should just, from there on out, shut up if you're going to do anything other than give callouts. That's it. Because you are useless to your team at that point. But that's okay. This happens. It's Siege. Still happens in other games too, but not as much as Siege. Siege is very, very. Actually, Siege is probably the only game that I know of that has a serious pro scene, at least, that TKs as often as people do in Siege. It's fucking nuts. But oh well. I'm kind of rambling, and I'm sorry. I'm not really good at making these kind of things, so I can stream and all that shit, and I can talk to people. That's fine. But doing this, I'm not good at. So sorry. The state of EU in Siege is it's dying, and it's the player base itself killing it because there's 60% plus cheaters, 40% or less that aren't cheating, but most of those guys are probably with the cheaters anyway. The other half is toxic pieces of shit that they know English, but they won't fucking speak English other than for the most part. Now, this isn't true about everybody. So if you're one of those 1 to maybe, and I'm being generous when I say this, 2% of EU that actually communicates and tries to communicate, whether that is you being a completely new player or a veteran player, that's 2+ years at least, I would say is a veteran player in Siege. You're still kind of a newbie after the first 1.5 to 2 years. Actually, after 2 years, you should know the map, just generally, at least, or well enough that if somebody gives a call out, you know roughly where the enemy is, and you should be capable of giving a call out yourself. But yeah, the meta is stagnating overall. The player base isn't really communicating, and Siege in EU is not slowly but fairly rapidly imploding and dying off. And for all the reasons mentioned before, like cheaters, toxicity, and just at this point, people being sick and fucking tired of, Siege being what it is, a toxic cesspool of shit sometimes. And then we have NA. NA so far, as so many other seasons before, is lagging behind EU by at least a couple of seasons. And in this case, that's a good thing for NA, because that means NA will have Siege running with a lot more consistency and a lot more people playing for longer. So NA might be the saving grace that will allow this game to continue existing for another 2 years. And I don't think, if everything keeps going the way it is now, I don't think Siege will have more than maybe 10, 20,000 people playing it around the world in 2 years, or at least it shouldn't. As it stands right now, if Ubisoft is serious about keeping Siege alive, I would say make a new game, make Siege 2.0. Bring over all the good operators that actually give something to the game. I have my own personal opinion on what those operators are, but yeah, no. Bring an operator that can make vertical plays, bring an operator that can do something useful for the team. Basically, continue making Siege and make Siege 2.0, but make it what Siege should have been this entire fucking time. A tactical shooter that emphasizes team play more than being a fragger. Like, the vast majority of the fraggers in Siege, they're not really fraggers. They're support players that, yeah, once their support role is done, they don't really do much. So they're run and gun, which is fine. Running and gunning is fine. You need that in Siege. You need that in any shooter game. Is that what Siege is about? Nope, not at all. Has it ever been about that? No. Maybe now, but not before. Anyway, beside the point. Again, and I'm sorry if there's a lot of static. I got a fan blowing on me, by the way, just because it's fucking hot outside. Just, global warming, doing this thing. Thanks to us humans. But completely different point, and I'm sorry for going there. Yeah, I think, Siege EU, because of the comms and toxicity, and because of the game being in a rather poor state of more cheaters than not right now, I don't think Siege will survive in EU for more than a year at best. How I'd be, if it does, it's just either the developers manage to do something to fix this problem or fix all the fucking issues that we are having with Siege in EU right now, which would consist of getting rid of 90% of the hackers in the game probably. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a reason why some of the higher level streamers of the Rainbow Six Siege have kind of stopped streaming it now, because it's not worth the effort anymore. It's not worth the time. It doesn't bring anything to the table. It doesn't give anything good to anybody. Yeah. Siege needs a change, both on the player side, or player base side, and on the developer side. Siege, on the developer side, Siege needs to become more consistent in everything. Stop fucking up, or stop making every operator's recoil pattern the recoil pattern of a person who has never ever shot a rifle in their life, who finally gets to shoot a fully automatic rifle. Like Jaeger's recoil right now. What the fuck is that? Like, the first time I picked up an HK416 when I went into the military, like, we only fired that rifle fully automatic once on the range, because we didn't really need to fire it automatically or fully automatic. And for anybody who's ever held a fully automatic weapon in their hands, yeah, they're fun to fire full auto. But is it necessary IRL unless you're playing in CQB? No. But even then, it's a 5.56 rifle, especially a 416, which is a short stroke gas piston operator weapon. As in, basically, there's, instead of a direct gas impingement like the M4, there's a little piston at the little gas block in the front of the, goes to the front of the barrel. That piston is, like, there's a hole there that fits a piston. That piston is, connected to a rod with a spring, or two rods, technically speaking, that spring together. The piston springs and compresses the spring, and the extension then, and it starts to push on the bolt, and the spring extension After that, forces the bolt open and sends the bolt into your shoulder or in the stock of your gun. Then he goes forward, picks up a new round, puts that round in the chamber, chambers it, or locks the chamber, and then fires the gun again. But gun mechanics aside, that was a very bad explanation of how a short stroke gas piston works. But anyway, you gun nuts out there might understand what the fuck I'm trying to vent. For those of you who don't care. Yeah, the recoil patterns, they just make the recoil a little more consistent across the board. That'll fix some shit. Make tweaks and changes to the operator gadgets, because that's what matters more. That matters way more than the rate of fire of a gun or the accuracy of any one fucking gun. But I can say this, like, unless you are a 6-year-old kindergartner holding a 416 for the first time in your life, firing it full auto, you're not going to have that recoil that Jaeger does have now. Or hell, some of the recoil that some of the weapons have in general. Like Ash's little, what's it, 7-inch barrel, M4 or R4C. I'm not even sure that thing can cycle properly, honestly. If it can, cool. Is it going to have a lot of recoil? Fuck no. It's a fucking A, it's a 5.56, and B, it's a DI gun, or direct gas impingement. It's technically still a piston system, but it doesn't matter. Gas goes through the barrel, behind the bullet, pushes the bullet forward, then finds a hole near the end of the barrel. Some gas goes up into the gas key. That's the little block in front there with the little rod there, or tube that goes back to the... Anyway, shouldn't have that recoil. She's got the same recoil that Buck has. Even Buck's gun shouldn't have that recoil, even especially considering the fact that he's got a heavy fucking shotgun underneath the barrel. So that thing isn't going to have no vertical rise almost, which is fair. But sorry, I'm going on a rant on a completely different fucking topic. Get this bullshit set and fix it and make it static. Like, fix the fucking mechanics of the game so that that's not a problem anymore. And ever after that, it is get a proper, this is how we get rid of hackers montage going or something with the community. And let's just get rid of the hackers. Use the community to help you get rid of the hackers. It worked for Counter-Strike. It's worked for other games than Counter-Strike. Just don't remember the names of them right now because I don't play them. Because they're shit. But for me, anyway, they're shit. You know what? Fuck it. Make Siege 2.0. Just make Siege 2.0. Simple as that. Make a game worth playing by taking all of the really good shit that's still in, or that has just come into Siege right now, implement it from the very beginning, like the replay system. That should be there from the very fucking beginning. Should that replay system be used to have kind of a voting system? Like the developers or the anti-cheat developers and all those guys, they vote on whether or not something is this bannable. They say yes. Does the community agree? Yes or no? Or vice versa, you know. Kind of like if both agree it's a full permaban, hardware ban, and there should be something, there should be a system in the game that is a hardware ban so that you can never ever make another account and play ranked ever again. Should you be able to play quick match or whatever? Yeah, because you played for the fucking game. Should you be able to cheat in that game? No. I'd say if you actually, I'd say not only should you get a ban or a hardware ban, but you should get a account termination when that happens, so that you can never ever play ranked again unless you can prove your innocence, which is impossible at this point, or should be impossible. If you've been dumb, you've been dumb. You should be able to make another account if you want. That's fine, but you're hardware banned, so you can't play ranked. And if you get caught once, maybe twice after that, then you're no longer allowed to play. No matter how many versions of the game you buy, you can keep buying them, or accounts you buy for the game. You can keep buying them as much as you want, but nope, it's just not going to let you play the game anymore. That should be a thing. Is it going to be? No, don't think so. Was it ever gonna be for Siege 1.0? No. Should it have been? Yeah, definitely should have. And yes, I know the COVID-19 bullshit. I mean, it's not bullshit; it's a real thing. But all the bullshit it has caused. That's what I mean by this. Probably hasn't helped Siege a lot or at all. We had a massive influx of new players when all this shit started, because everybody was basically free from work and had time to play some, games they could play. That's okay. The game kind of needed it. Needed a little bit of new blood. The problem is that right now the game is so fucking shit, and the player base has been so fucking shit to the newer players, that I understand fully that this game isn't growing, and that it's rather just losing people, because we're all a bunch of toxic cunts. I'm not sorry for saying cunt here. Like, we're being cunts. Like, this fucking earlier. Like, the match I had earlier. I had 2 unranked matches. That's 2 matches I've bothered to play that they solo. If my friends get online today and start playing, then by all means, I'll go play with them, because I can play this game with my friends, so I don't have to deal with the toxic cunts on my team, because I know the motherfuckers. So it's not a problem, and I won't play with cunts. So, still not going to leave a match if I have cunts on my team, like asshats, complete douche canoes with no sense of fucking team play ever. But I don't know. Ubisoft, if you ever see this before the game dies, and you've managed to stick with it until now, which I doubt the vast majority of you have stuck with it until now. For those few, if any at all, have, thank you very much for sticking with this video for this long. I'm really sorry for the negativity that it comes with, but like, all right, Ubisoft, make Siege 2.0. Make sure you don't make the same fucking mistakes that you did with Siege 1.0. Implement a lot more anti-cheat bullshit or stuff from the very beginning. Implement, community-driven anti-hackers, anti-cheater punishment systems or whatever. Just make the game a bit more streamlined from the very fucking beginning with 2.0. And don't do any of the bullshit that you're doing now, because you're seeing the writing on the wall as well. And the writing on the wall right now is that Siege is dying. So you're trying to squeeze out as much money as you possibly can by introducing older skins again and their packs and this, that, and the other. And yeah, I see you putting effort into making some of the newer skins, and I think in some cases it's because you kind of want the game to keep going and you want to give people something to come back and play the game for. I understand that, but I don't think that's the primary reasoning behind them being better now. Not anymore. Right now, I think it is just a simple money grab to get as much money out of there, squeeze as much money out of the game as possible. And as a company, I understand you for doing that. Hope next season is worth it. So if it isn't, if my friends are still playing it, I will play it, but I won't spend any money on it. I can't be asked. At the moment, it's just not worth my fucking effort to play this game without my friends. And if my friends are as tired of this game as I am, or worse, I don't think that anyone of us is gonna really play it for that long. And thank you all, whoever is watching this, especially if you're watching it to the end. Thank you for watching it to the end. Sorry it was a rant. sorry it wasn't, me going, hey, don't worry, guys, the game is going to be great. The game is going to keep going strong. It's only going to get better from here. No, I don't think so anymore. I wish that was the case. I really do. Um, I really, really, really do. But I don't think so. I think the writing is slowly but surely, getting up on the wall. Like, Siege is dying. I would, for once, I would say that Siege is dying. And it sucks because Siege has been a really fun game, even with all the toxicity. And yeah, blame all the cheaters at this point. Blame the cheaters. Blame all the people that are so fucking quick to. Like, it's taken me 2.5 years to make this little video right here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you stuck with it until the end. Sorry, it was just bad shit, but thank you for watching. Hope I'll have some videos of other games and fun ones. Or hell, I hope Siege turns around and has have a reason to actually put some effort in and make a game again, or make a video, not make a game. I'm not a dev, but yeah, I don't know. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, as my friend says. It's not really a TED Talk, but so sorry to those guys. Thank you for coming to my little rant. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you, and bye bye.